We're the Phat Peeps.
Hey, peeps.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phat Peeps podcast. This is a podcast where we get together to talk about the hottest topics happening in the world of nerd culture while also cracking bad jokes. Of course, I am your guys' host, Joey, and I'm here with the other Phat Peeps, plus one Phat Peep that's not normally on the podcast, but is here every once in a while. Anyway, let's go down the list. We got PJ.
Hi.
We have his lovely wife, Sarah.
Oh, hello.
We have cameraman John of the Cameraman John podcast, aka
Hello. Hey, that's not what it's called.
twitch.com.
Damn, you got burned, son.
Oh, no.
Got
And
him.
we got Garrick.
Hello.
That was very anticlimactic compared to your normal stuff.
I know.
I know. I decided to change it up since it's the Chillcast.
Oh, so chill.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. Did I
Moist.
spoil that?
Oh,
Moist.
awkward.
Wait, it's going to be in the title, right? So it's not
Probably.
a spoiler. Okay, go ahead.
But yes, Garrick is right. Today, unlike normal days, we're not going to talk about video games or movies or television or technology.
Maybe.
That's for nerds.
We're gonna, well, it might seep in because it always does. It's kind of impossible
Ew.
not to let it,
It's seeping.
right? But instead, we're going to talk about random stuff, random topics. We got a bunch of random topics, and we're going to talk about them.
Ooh.
But first, of course, we normally have our icebreaker question of the show, which is normally a random topic. But because we're doing all random topics, as you do on a Chillcast, we're flip-flopping it.
Oh, we're flipping it around.
What a twist. Oh,
What
my
a twist.
God.
Flippy floppy.
So
So I don't know if you guys know this, but Cyberpunk 2077 may be one of the most anticipated video games of all time.
Make the big
Came
pig.
out
Wow.
about a week ago.
Yep.
Oh.
And
Very
I think we got some people who have been playing it.
I've
Have
had
some opinions.
18.5 hours in
Oh, that's a
Wait.
big dick number right
2077.
there.
That's a big.
Where do you check that?
Steam. Wait, what do you mean? Where do you check
Oh,
that?
I got
The thing that
mine.
we've used forever.
I decided to get mine on Cyberpunk because you get
On
you
Cyberpunk?
give a higher percentage of your payment to the developer.
oh, yeah.
Damn.
But does it go
If-
towards developers or just?
if
That's
you
a big dick
remember,
move.
We talked about that in our previous podcast several months ago. Go find it.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, I kind of want to talk about. Okay, no, we should say that for the actual gaming stuff.
Okay.
Oh, I found it, John. I played
what?
17
So
hours.
who's
7
played? Wow, he's caught up to you, and he's only had it for like 2 days. Wow,
But I've been taking my
I
time
could
too,
barely
though.
play.
that's impressive.
I barely have any
um,
time to play.
No, it's less of a strike at you. It's more of a thing towards Garrick. But nonetheless,
I do that. Well, you were wondering where I was on Sunday. Well, now
there
you
you
know.
go. But
Now
his
we
day was
know.
on Cyberpunk. So who
My schedule-
has
my
it here? It's just you two, right? Or Joey, do you have it?
Sounds like it.
No.
No.
No, I didn't
Oh,
buy
that
it.
laugh though.
He's like plebs.
Well, I mean, I don't really have a good computer to run it right now,
Okay.
and I'm
I'm on the
certainly
same
not
boat
going to
as
buy
you,
it on the
that's
PlayStation 4. So,
Oh yeah.
But don't you get the free upgrade with it later, anyways?
well, I might as well wait because I might be
True.
able to get it for cheaper later.
And
That's
probably
true.
the bugs will be gone by then too. Anyways.
Exactly.
All the spiders.
I don't need it right now. I'm playing Skyrim again.
Nice.
Oh,
Wow.
snap.
Nice.
Choices matter there too, Joey.
I'll probably end up getting it later. But
But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. Again, this is like because I have a beefy computer that can actually run it.
big
So
beefy.
beefy.
I don't
Oh,
have
yeah.
any performance issues. The only issues that I
Nice to know, John.
come across,
Ladies.
yeah, yep. Uh,
Oh, whoa.
That carries over from the last episode of Twitch.
Or men. We're all
Or men.
inclusive here.
Oh,
inclusive.
okay. Or gentlemen.
or gentle
All
days.
right, so here's
Or
my
anything
review.
in between.
There you go.
All right, moving on to my review. Okay.
What?
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
But yeah,
Wow.
the only like problems like the bugs every now and then. They're more just graphical annoying bugs than game breaking bugs. But I'm having a blast.
Oh wow.
I love the all the mechanics, the hacking and stuff like that. Gunplay, yeah, it's kind of iffy, but it's an RP. I feel like all RPG games, if they have guns in it, it's not that great, but it's fun to play with. It's fun to play
Yeah,
with.
I agree. The gunplay it's solid, but I think it's just
It's
typical
not,
RPG
yeah, it's not a first
where
person
you're
shooter.
fighting like a giant like meat shields and stuff.
Yeah,
It takes a lot to kill them sometimes, but I think it's just we're underpowered at this moment in time, so I think we'll scale up a little better. But I too am enjoying the stealth the most, and then
yeah,
also the
stealth and
hacking.
hacking.
I
And
feel like
story's great.
they did a better job than like Watch Dogs in my opinion. Haven't played Legion yet, so I can't really form my opinion, but I feel like Legion's going to be the same type of vibe. But yeah. I do have bugs. I have a lot of bugs. I got a couple T poses. I got a
Oh yeah,
couple
T poses.
duplicate
Yeah.
objects and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's. I wonder where that comes from because it seems like a lot of cutscenes they kind of jump poses and then the object sticks and then another object spawns. It's like it's
Yeah.
kind of fascinating how the bugs
Yeah.
work.
Like I feel like it's like different scenes in the same
Yeah. So
scene.
it's like I wonder how they set up those scenes to have that bug happen.
Any game developers out there, let us
Yeah.
know why this happens.
Yeah. So
And then, oh, go ahead.
oh yeah, I was thinking the only like almost game breaking bug was when an enemy flopped upside down and went through the world. So only his shoes were kind of showing. The bottom of his shoes were showing. And I was just running around because I was still in combat. I can hear him talking, but I couldn't find where he was. And I came across these shoes and I shot it. And then the damage markers came up. I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
the guy I was supposed to kill. So that's like had it like sunk all the way down, on the ground. And I'm like, ooh, probably
Yeah,
can't kill that guy.
I had a dude that was stuck to like a concrete pillar or something, and I
Yeah.
just heard their voice all the time, so I had to
Yeah.
scan through all the cameras the whole time. It was kind of getting to me, but I found him in the
Yeah.
end. The worst part for me, I think it's just personal, but I've been having a lot of crashes with my game. I have a feeling though, personally, it's my graphics card that might be a little faulty because I've had crashes
Oh,
with
no.
my graphics before. But I think just the power hungry nature of this game is just amplifying that a little bit too much.
Yeah. So far, yeah, I've been lucky and haven't had any crashes yet. So hopefully
Yeah.
it sticks that way.
So I just want to make a comparison because we've talked about Anthem a lot. I have. I've sparked the talk of Anthem a lot, but I just like and then the reason why I want to say this is because Cyberpunk was riddled with so much bugs and like issues, and it's been taking a hit on the reviews because of that. But when compared to Anthem has a lot of like mechanics that are amazing and unique, but the problem is the content. But the content is very lacking. But compared to Cyberpunk, you know for a fact the content is there. You just have to get past the bugs and work through it. And I've been very lenient with the bugs, and it hasn't bothered me to the point where I have to stop playing this game and return this game. I still want to continue on and just push through because it's still a great game.
Anthem had other
content's
issues
there.
beyond just like lack of content or like in game being flatlined. It had a lot to do with the performance issues as well, but the performance issues in Anthem were to the point where like you could have the highest end rig and it still wasn't running. Whereas Cyberpunk has performance issues, but not so game breaking that it's like, wow, I can't even play the game. So that was Anthem's issue when it first came out, like the first week or so.
I mean, from what I've seen, performance has been inconsistent. Like, I've seen people saying that on their like 2080s, they can't get the game to run consistently at 60 frames a second on like any graphic setting.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. But I mean, like, it's
That's-
still
And I'm
better
not
than
fixed.
whatever happened with Anthem, where it was like not at all running. Like it was crashing and people couldn't even get into the game. So that's the opposition. But sorry, Joey, what were you saying?
Well, I was going to say that might have been fixed in the most recent patch
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I haven't really been keeping up on it that much.
Well, watching John
But-
play, like it did pretty well. I was enjoying it, and I was just watching him over Parsec, and even that wasn't having issues. So, I mean,
It's like I have a beef computer. I might be lucky that I just haven't had any issues yet, like severe issues. So I've heard I've heard what Joey said. Like it's been a mixed bag for a lot of people too. So I would recommend. I love the game, but I would also recommend just to wait if you
Mhm.
haven't bought it yet.
Yeah.
And if for the consoles too, definitely wait even longer.
Yeah.
'Cause-
The funny thing is, like, I
Yeah.
never bought into the hype of this game. Like, I never understood. Like, I wasn't excited 5 years ago or even working up to this game. And then all of a sudden, I watched some gameplay when it released of someone actually going through a mission in the prologue. And I was like, oh, wow, they made those decisions based on their own personality. And when I got to actually, so I decided to get the game. And when I actually played that same mission, I had a totally different outcome just by making one different choice, and like it just spread out like that, like different characters arose and all that. It was like, what the heck happened? And it's like that really sold me about how important choices actually mattered. And I've been looking for a game for a while that actually promoted that, like The Witcher did, like, or because like so many games in between The Witcher and now have been quote unquote choices matter allegedly, but whereas it's just talking prompts that you can choose just to impose your own personality how you would respond, but it doesn't really affect the main story. But this does. It makes a big difference. Characters disappear, characters come into play because of your choices, and I appreciate that. Finally,
Are you guys ready to move on?
Yeah.
Have you guys
Let's
said
do
your
it.
piece on Cyberpunk?
I believe
Oh, yeah.
so.
is it Daddy Chill
Okay.
time?
I
Oh,
guess.
Daddy, chill.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh God.
You have to say it in a higher voice.
What? Why?
Yeah. Well, because that's how this guy did it before.
Who?
Okay. Anyways,
Oh,
Okay,
There's-
so
don't worry
our
about it.
first random question of the day is, if you were to be any Disney princess, which one would you be and why?
wow.
Wow.
Let me pull up the Disney princesses. Disney.
Oh yeah. So we gotta specify because there is the trademarked Disney princess. We're talking about those.
12.
There are, there are 12 Disney princesses that Disney
Okay.
has, um, uh,
Officially stated.
labeled. Yeah,
Canonical
officially
Disney
canonical Disney
princesses.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Part
That's,
of the
I love that.
the DPCU.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. They ain't
Wow.
no Tinkerbell in there. You know. They ain't no.
Wait.
What's the other ones?
Wait, I have to ask: are they actually like in the same universe to the point where they would actually
No.
meet?
No,
Because
I don't
it's
think
more
so.
it's more of a branding thing because a lot
theory
there's other
crafting for some of
there's
it.
other princesses, like in the stories are princesses that aren't Disney princesses just because
Yeah.
they might be easily confused with other current princesses. Like I forgot which one, but one princess had the same dress as a current Disney princess, so that they just booted her because like the dress was too similar. So it's like
Oh,
it's
no.
more of a marketing thing than anything.
Oh wow! Wait, what was that movie that? I guess it was a parody, and not Disney, but it had all the princesses in there.
Oh, Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Does that count as a princess movie?
No.
Aw.
No.
No,
That
well,
was
yeah,
really good
but
though. Okay,
yeah,
go
yeah.
on.
But they did make a joke about her being the Princess Buttercup or whatever, becoming a Disney
Buttercup.
princess. What the
That's
the,
from
the little
The
girl?
Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls.
No,
Yeah.
Princess Penelope.
Penelope.
Cruz.
Yeah,
The little girl in
the little girl
Wreck-It
in
Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
You're talking
Okay.
about the movie.
Oh,
Oh
sorry.
my god. I
I
don't
forgot
know
her
why I got
name.
lost.
Yeah.
I
I have
forgot
no
her
idea
name.
why I got lost.
Okay.
All right. So what's your Disney princess?
My eyes are crossing at this conversation.
Don't worry
Wait,
about it.
I think
It's
we
not important.
know, don't we?
No, we don't.
Hey!
Wait.
Don't assume.
I know.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
assume it's
No, you're
kind of
probably
obvious.
thinking right.
Sarah,
Yes.
Sarah, what's your username again?
What is your username?
Oh
Mermaid
my God,
Sony.
John.
Oh.
Okay,
So she
so
would be Cinderella. Yeah.
yes,
Perfect.
yes.
Moving on.
No,
Okay.
oh, okay, fine.
Why do you
Okay,
accept this?
Bye. It's been
No.
solved.
No, I would obviously pick Ariel if you know me.
Oh my God, what a
You know that
surprise.
it'd be Princess Ariel, and that's because she does what she wants. Okay,
Oh shoot.
like she don't listen to no man's. Well, her
Doesn't
dad.
she do that and then get her voice lost?
Shh.
Okay. Okay.
And then if
Um,
she and if anyone if she if gets if anyone ruffles her scales, she fish slaps them.
She
okay,
is
yeah.
very violent, so yeah, that kind of makes
Um,
sense.
No,
Wait, what?
I really,
I'm not talking about Ariel. I'm talking about Sarah.
Oh, okay. Sarah, okay.
Oh.
um, no, so I really like Ariel and I like mermaids. The whole
Oh.
idea of them just really intrigues me. But I do like how, she just goes for what she wants and she falls in love. I
Oh
like
wow.
the mushy stuff, and she wasn't afraid of the humans even though everyone else was, you know. So
Hmm.
she was brave in a sense. Um, I don't know. I just really like her. I've always liked her.
Aw.
So that's why.
Just gonna point out that Eric was grooming her.
No,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
really, she's the one that found him. So
Yeah,
how
but
was
then
he
she was like,
her?
"Oh, a mute woman. Perfect for me."
Oh
He was
wow.
no. He was intrigued
Nani?
by her because she saved him.
Babe, he was
Wait,
19.
did she save?
She
Hey,
saved him. Yes.
things were different back in like 15
Yeah, that's
whatever or
true.
whatever.
That's true.
Oh, and fun
Back in the
fact,
day.
the movie came out in 1989, and that's the year I was born.
Oh,
Wow. It was meant to
whoa.
be.
Yeah.
What
Little Mermaid.
what caused
Sorry, go
what
ahead.
caused you to like mermaids? Was it because of the movie itself?
Well, that definitely influenced it, yeah. But I just like my love of the ocean,
Oh.
and
Ocean.
yeah, and the beach.
Beach,
So
let's go to the beach.
yeah, all of that kind of
Amazing.
all spiraled into one love for Ariel.
Little Mermaid
Wow.
has a special place in my heart too, because my dad was always into it when I was younger, so we'd watch it together. So like, even I have an affinity to it. Um, are you done with answering yours, babe? Did you have?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess based off of looks, Mierda would have to be probably mine, but
Wait, what? Oh, okay.
Who?
Okay.
Wow.
I like
We're
like
going
looks like
off of
you.
looks?
I'm just
or
saying,
you
like-
you dig the look of her. Which one
no,
could you
I'm
get?
saying
Specify.
like, yeah, no, I'm saying like, if I would be transformed into a girl, I'm pretty sure I'd have really long, bushy red hair.
Yeah.
But
And they love the outdoors.
no,
Oh,
that
yeah.
wouldn't change.
Oh, okay.
Oh well, that's
So
not
that doesn't
her.
count. That's not-
But if I was going to probably base it off of an actual, like, one of the characters, is this choice of like why you think that they match you, or why?
Just why you would want to be that princess.
yeah.
Yeah, it could be the personality or something. I
Or-
mean, it could be
I mean, it could
as
be like, yeah,
shallow as their looks, but I think that's boring, PJ.
All of the girls are
Yeah.
underage, Garrick. I don't think so.
Then what you were starting off with their look when Merida's looks.
Because I'm
Hello?
saying I would look like that probably.
Yeah.
Oh
Right. So
my
like
God.
if there's something about the princess that you identify with,
Yeah.
then that
What-
is
what-
like an
what-
appropriate
Just because
reason.
she has
I s-
red hair.
Yeah.
PJ
Yeah,
Ariel
it-
has
But
red hair
I'm gonna
too.
be honest. If you like her dress, that's fine. Like,
It is
who
pretty
cares?
cool.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree
I
with
mean,
you.
I would like to hear
Gold.
something.
I think
less
Moana has
shallow.
the best song.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
a good enough
yeah.
reason too.
But
That's all.
But PJ, you're naming a few. Like, what one?
Yeah.
What
I know
one
I'm
did
trying to
you
figure out like in my head what one I would choose and why.
What
So I'm like
Okay.
listing
voice do you
strong
identify
reasons.
with?
Which
when
one?
singing?
Which one you identify with? Would that be
Story
Like,
easier?
wise,
I
whatever.
identify with Ariel, which is why I picked her.
Would you choose what's the one that sleeps a lot? Snow White?
Snow White? Oh,
No, because I don't sleep a
that's,
lot.
that's her
Okay,
whole
well,
purpose.
okay.
You're
I,
talking about
I was gonna say
Aurora.
Wait, Joey.
I was gonna go with Aurora because
Ooh.
I
Okay.
like her name. I identify
This
with
is
the
cool.
fact that she gets to sleep a lot,
Uh-huh.
and I
Oh.
like
it's
her spunky
Aurora. Okay.
attitude.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I
like
love
that
the name
too.
Aurora too.
I don't know why, but I never remembered her name. I just remember her as Sleeping
Yeah, same
Beauty.
here.
Because they
same
always
here.
just called her Sleeping Beauty.
The
I don't think
Sleeping
it.
Beauty. Because
Poor
that's all she's known
Aurora.
for, just
Yeah.
being beautiful and
Sleeping.
sleeping.
Yeah, she literally
Wow,
just
that is like
sits
the
there,
epitome of
lies there the whole time.
1920s like
Yeah.
thought process, isn't it?
That's all
Wow.
she's good for. See?
Mom, it's summer break. Leave me alone.
That's crazy. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you
does
see, like,
anybody
yeah,
else-
some of like the more modern princesses are much more like,
Outspoken. Yeah, cool.
yeah,
Because even look at
outspoken, probably. It's really-
Ariel,
yeah.
like a silent woman that takes a
Yeah,
backseat
exactly.
to a male character. Like, wow. Disney, what are you doing?
Oh my! It was a
Oh,
different
and
time.
Belle, a submissive woman that has to
Stockholm syndrome.
stand next to her man to try to make sure that he stays calm. Oh wow, what the heck? This is blowing my mind. I feel like
Oh,
Pocahontas and
wow.
Mulan are like the only ones that break that like those rules.
Well,
Of the older one,
Pocahontas
yeah.
is kind of, yeah, I guess.
What about Jasmine? She like
Oh yeah, Jasmine's
kind of
like very
defies
Well,
the
that's
wishes of
true.
her father and tries to
Yeah.
pave her own path as a woman.
Yeah, well, that's when
Yeah.
they started like
Yeah, I feel like
creating,
there was a
the princesses, like,
transitional
in the
period
90s.
for them.
Yeah, in the 90s, where the princesses weren't just pretty.
Where
things
like
that
they're
need
sitting there
men's
pulling their collar,
help
like,
from men.
this is getting awkward.
Yeah.
How about you, John?
Wait, did you make your final selection, PJ?
I have not.
Still
Go ahead,
thinking.
John.
I would be
Okay.
Moana.
Oh, why is it? I was
Because
gonna choose her.
Highland. Well, because she's
That
song's so
adventurous.
good.
She's
Go on.
funny.
That
Like, I
song
love
is
the
so good.
sea. Like, if I could sail, and live on an island for the rest of my
Sail!
life as a princess, dude, heck yeah.
See, I was gonna go with her just because I was like, I want to get the hell off this damn island.
But
I.e.,
she
I'm
gets off
tired of
that
feeling
island
stuck.
to find another island.
Like
for her
I
tribe.
appeal to her feeling of being stuck somewhere,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So-
I mean that works.
but I'm not choosing her. So
Oh,
continue.
okay. But yeah. No, that's why I love. That's why I love the character. I love Polynesian and like kind of Hawaiian culture and stuff like that. So I
Mhm.
would want to be a princess of the sea. Also, she's like a waterbender, right? She bends water.
She's not a
That
waterbender.
That
Yeah,
was
she is.
not.
She's definitely a
that was
waterbender.
No, that's like the spirit of the ocean
Yeah.
reacting
Well, she
to her.
controls this. She
No,
controls
it's more
it.
like
So essentially she has.
she doesn't control anything. She's like vibing with the water, and the
She
water's
coexists
reacting
with the
back
water,
to her.
yeah.
Exactly, which is pretty much water bending. Come on, I mean, you just vibe with the water,
If
I
at
didn't
any
even
moment
remember
the
that
water
portion.
decided it didn't want to vibe with her, it wasn't going to be moving, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm vibing with the ocean. It's not the other way around. So I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Also,
true.
she got a cute pig.
Also,
She's a
she
little
has the
cute
Rock
pig.
in her movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying his piece, like those two songs, literally the best songs in any Disney movie.
Yeah, they're really good songs.
They are,
They are.
so good.
That whole movie has
They
all
are
good
toe
songs.
tappers.
Very good songs, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. It's just toe tappers. Nothing else.
Yeah,
Just tap your
just
toes.
tap your toe.
That's the only reaction you get from PJ. Tapping the toe.
I'm gonna tap my toe.
I'm very
city.
judgmental, so it takes a lot to move me, even with my
Okay.
toe.
You don't get
Whi-
knee shakers.
Which
That's next level up.
which Disney princess do you think would be best at killing a person?
Pocahontas or Mulan.
Is it Pocahontas?
Oh,
See,
wait,
really?
I'm in between.
Pocahontas?
I'm between Mulan and Merida.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
Mulan definitely is murders Well, she's murdered like
Mulan's
a whole
murdered people. Okay,
battalion
never
of-
mind.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
definitive.
she's
Yeah.
an
So let's
actual
take her out.
warrior.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mer-
So,
Merida
Merida
is
or
a warrior in
Pocahontas?
of
She's like a
herself,
warrior in
so-
training, but
yeah.
eventually, she'll be a
She's
assassin or
an
something.
archer though.
Yeah, an archer.
She's very elusive too, though. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, though,
Um,
what constitute like what is a princess in this
That's a-
list?
That's a Disney
Right?
thing. It's
But
been
it-
marketed
Yeah.
heavily.
But it's like, cause like is
Who has the
because like
best
Mulan's not
silhouette?
really a princess.
No.
Mulan technically in the movie she marries the whatever the
Prince.
the sergeant guy, the prince sergeant guy. So she's
Yeah, but he-
technically a princess after that. In the
Yeah.
movie, in the Disney movie.
Is
not
that
in
how
the
that works
actual.
though? I don't know how that.
That's how they in on at least on Wikipedia.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, yeah, it says on the Disney Wiki
Yeah.
here that she earns the non-noble title of imperial consul, and
yeah, which is
Yeah.
essentially princess.
Huh.
But yeah, like in real
Close
life,
enough.
Mulan was, or actually not in real life, but like in the folk tale of Mulan, the actual one, she isn't a princess.
she isn't or is
Is not. Yeah.
Oh, so like was
I
she
don't think.
like a
Maybe I don't
peasant
know.
or something?
At least not the stories I know. But maybe
I
it
think
is.
she was a
Don't quote me on
peasant.
that.
She was never a
quote me.
peasant. No. Her
No?
father was
Okay.
of high status. I know that.
Just
Yeah.
okay, of rank. Okay.
Derek and PJ, do you guys have your answers?
Okay, we'll say PJ for last.
Yeah. That's fine.
I was gonna choose Moana just because because she's good buddies with The Rock. As like a-
Yeah.
but
See, I told you.
and the freaking songs are fun.
They're
like,
all good
Yeah.
songs.
Those are really good, and The Rock shakes
I'm
it.
I'm
like,
gonna let you
on-
finish, but I don't think you guys would make very good Moanas.
Fine. I know I'm not the biggest adventurer, John, but come on, that world is cool.
Hi.
I don't know. I think I would associate with Rapunzel.
I was about to say Rapunzel, but instead of the long hair, it's your eyebrows.
Yes, exactly. You and me were meant to be together. But I like how she takes a frying pan and doesn't use it for cooking, but to
Beat the
to
shit out of
take
people?
names and yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. That would be my second because I love her personality.
She has a
Yeah,
good
Rapunzel.
personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's pretty.
I'm so stuck on the eyebrows.
She's pretty rambunctious. I
Garrett,
guess.
Garrett, let
Yeah.
down your eyebrows.
Oh wow.
No, I love
It's
Garrick's eyebrows.
Spiraling down the tower.
Yeah. But
No,
also,
just like both of them, and you grab them both, and then you just like walk up as you like inch
I just
up.
imagine someone like climbing, straddling the two sides of the eyebrows.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
They're like braided
I-
sideways.
You make it seem like I would be like that senpai in one of those movies. who
Yeah,
has,
that's what I
like,
imagine.
the eyebrows go into my beard, and then my beard goes down to my feet.
Like when you're walking, the eyebrows are just on either side of you, dragging on the floor, and you just hear.
All hairs lead to the tip of my beard.
Oh my
Um,
God.
and
Thank
my
you for saying
superpower
that.
would be
I was
able
gonna tell
to.
you. I was gonna say it for you, but you did it.
I can control my beard like no other. Okay. Also, like I like what they did with Flynn Rider. He's
Oh yeah,
pretty
he's yeah.
realistic too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, if there was a what prince would you want to be? Definitely Flynn Rider. He's badass.
Mhm.
Yeah, the characters overall in Rapunzel are really
So-
solid. And
Okay, wait.
go on.
All right. Well, yeah, because now I'm answering my own question. Because I was like, what about Elsa? But Elsa's technically a queen, right?
Yeah, she's a queen.
Yeah.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that why we don't
princess.
see her here? Awkward.
Yeah, she's a queen.
Wait, what's
What
the
does that
other
make
name?
Anna?
Anna?
I guess
Isn't
she's
she
just
a
like-
princess now.
She's just there.
I think
But
she
she's
is
not
a
really
princess,
like
but
a
she's not an
princess.
official Disney princess at least.
She's assistant queen, maybe.
Oh, she's assistant queen. Wait, that's a princess,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, if you're not queen, you're a princess. King or queen, you're a princess or prince.
I just don't think
I
that
don't know- I don't know how it
they've
works.
knighted them, if you want to call it that. Like
I mean,
eventually,
they Disney.
it's
push-
based off of sales, John.
Yeah, it's yeah. That's why. I said
Wait, did
it's
they
based
not
off
make
of
enough
marketing and
money?
sales.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
Frozen is so big that it can just be its own independent property, and they don't need to
Yeah.
loop it in with the
so
other
they
ones.
So
Right.
they should be
Possibly.
on top of
And
this
also,
list.
Elsa just probably makes most of the merchandising money, anyways. Who wants?
Yeah.
Who wants Anna?
I always feel
what's that
bad
Sven
when I walk
doll?
by that aisle every Christmas and it's like all the Elsa dolls are gone, but Anna's still sitting there. I'm like,
Aw, why don't they like
Aw.
Anna?
I
She's
don't
a
know.
good character.
She's
Yeah, I actually
solid.
like her
She's
better
the-
than Elsa. But
She's
I don't know.
whatever.
I feel like
her
Elsa was.
sister.
I feel like Elsa was pretty needy in the movies.
Yeah, agreed. It's
Mhm.
just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm emo. It's so cold. Oh, my life sucks. I gotta shoot ice out of my hands. Oh,
I mean, she does have that going for her.
Yeah,
shooting
that's true.
Ice out of her hands.
I think that's
Yeah.
what makes
Dope.
everyone. It's like, oh, so cool.
Yeah.
Did
No,
they get
those
the
songs-
idea from Maleficent or
Ooh.
vice versa?
Well, I
Probably-
mean, Maleficent was around before.
Yeah, they came in
Like
Yeah.
long before.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
because what's her name?
Because Maleficent's
Blunt's
from
character.
Beauty and the Beast, isn't she?
No,
Or not
she
Beauty and the
was
Beast.
from,
White.
Fuck,
No, no,
Snow
no,
White.
not
That's what I
Sleeping,
meant.
Sleeping
Oh, yeah, it
Beauty.
was-
Sleeping Beauty.
It was Sleeping
Oh,
Beauty?
I see.
Yeah, it was Sleeping
It was
Beauty.
one of
Oh
those
yeah, it
other
was.
princess movies.
Duh.
She turns into
Duh,
dragon.
yeah.
in
The
dragon.
In the movie. Yeah.
And then Emily Blunt's character was very cold, like literally cold too, like Elsa. So
Mm.
Huh.
that's
I just want
interesting.
to say the songs in both like Frozen and Frozen 2 are really good too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They're
The
catchy.
snowman part. I like the snowman.
Strong.
Into
Good
the
is a
unknown,
strong word.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
no.
all I'm gonna say. Into
It's
the
Also,
unknown.
oh,
Good.
what's the is it Sven the moose?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
His
yeah.
song, his so
It was
good.
so touching.
Yeah.
Oh,
I need to
Yeah.
watch it again.
Oh.
Ah,
Yes, so good.
I might
Okay.
appreciate it better.
So I finally, I just keep
Got
coming
it?
back to this. So I'm just gonna go with Belle because she's a shut-in. She likes reading.
what a nerd!
She likes her alone time.
Oh,
And she's a furry.
oh!
Oh,
Ooh,
Ooh,
woo.
exclamation point! Ooh woo! PJ confirmed furry.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
I'm gonna go
Officially
with her.
confirmed.
And roses are cool. Roses are cool. So I'm all about it.
I really thought you were gonna be Sleeping Beauty, but okay.
I mean, considering my average sleep amounts, like 4 to 5 hours, I really don't think that counts.
Back in the day, though, you were getting up there. I would like
Yeah.
never.
Oh,
So
I
when you
used to
got
sleep
when you got
I
kissed
would
by
wonder.
your
I thought you
prince,
got. I thought you got kidnapped a few times because you
yeah,
never
there
showed
you
up.
go. Yeah.
Well, because
So
like
yeah.
before, I would ignore my alarm because like
Oh
when you,
my.
when you have no responsibilities or cares in the world, you just like
Why?
alarms.
Wait, why would you have an alarm in the first place?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's well, because if
That's
I
your-
didn't
that's
have
your
an alarm
problem.
on, if I didn't have an alarm on, I would never wake up.
Oh
And
no!
then you got
that means you would be dead, PJ.
Right.
No,
what?
I remember when PJ and I first started dating, I would be at work. My lunch break was from 11 to 1 because I'd work 8 to 6. And I would call him when I first got on lunch, and he would call me back maybe like a half an hour before I had to go back in. And he'd be like,
Oh
"Oh, I
my.
just woke up."
Well,
Hello?
okay, so I'd set an
Hey, come.
alarm a half an hour before she got out for lunch, and then use her calling me as another alarm, and then I would call her afterwards once I actually like
Well, why are you
partially
waking
woke
him
up.
So rude.
Because she should have been up.
And then I would go back to sleep for
At that
another
time-
2 hours after.
Yep. And then the sweet prince of adulthood woke you up.
Beat the
or kissed
crap
you.
out of me over the head.
Oh, okay. He didn't kiss you?
Yeah, there was no kissing involved. He
Oh, okay.
he was a
Oh,
violent.
awkward.
He
It's
was
just a bunch of
violent
domestic
lover.
abuse. Okay.
Yeah, it
Got
was.
it.
Wow.
Anyhow,
Wow.
this conversation went swimmingly for Disney princesses. So yes,
Oh, yeah.
Belle.
Oh no.
Because
Yeah, cool.
I like
Cool,
her
cool, cool.
scholarliness.
Yeah, nerd. What a nerd.
Yeah.
All
Mhm.
right.
Okay, was
Oh,
that
Wait, what was
everyone?
Garrick? What was your answer?
I
Moana.
chose Rapunzel.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
It was the eyebrows, remember?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
On fleek.
If
No
anyone
kissing.
draws
So
this,
true.
please make
Well
sure
done,
you
John.
share it on the Discord.
Mhm.
I'd be ever so happy.
Well,
Rocky, I'm looking
yeah,
at
maybe
you.
that could be our next contest. Just draw one of us as a Disney,
A Disney
princess.
princess.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
That'd
I
be
like
fun.
that.
Good
That's a
idea.
good one. We'll have to
Mm,
take note
That'd
of
be
that.
fun. New year. New
Anyone that's
us.
made it this far in the podcast, remind us.
Get
And
started on it.
you are a
Get
true
ahead.
superstar. Okay.
Okay.
Had to add
So
that.
tell me, guys, Have you ever almost died before?
Always.
Have I?
Yes.
Hmm.
So one time I had
I'm trying to
chalupas.
think.
Tell us all about it.
Oh no.
That doesn't count.
Oh, that happens a lot. Yeah. Um. Okay. Well, I thought of the question, so I guess I'll go first for that one because Google. I am not talking to you. I swear to Bob.
How?
Google.
I don't
How did
know.
that happen?
Legit, it went off today when I was at work. Like I heard, I had it on the table. I wasn't even talking. No one was talking around me. I think the TV was on and it turned on because something
Oh,
on the TV
awkward.
said okay, and it was like,
Okay.
what? Anyhow, moving on from that. Um, the only near death experience that I remember that was like semi recent because I don't get many of them because I don't really go out that often was when Sarah and I were in Hawaii for our honeymoon. We took a tour, but like guide bus tour thing of the island. Actually, no, that's not the day it happened. We went to a um was it the tour guide day or was it the luau day?
I don't know where you're going with this, so I can't tell
It
you.
was one of our days. We took a bus and we
Obviously
were
wasn't.
riding around the island, and we got dropped off at like a bus stop, and the streets there are very narrow. And so we got off the bus, got all of our shit. We were walking, like I was walking in front of the bus, and I was about to walk out into the middle of the street, like not really fully paying attention, thinking the bus was blocking the street. And there was a car
Oh
coming
no.
around the other side, and Sarah grabbed the back of my backpack, and people in the bus were like
Oh
yelling and
yeah.
pointing, and I was like, "What the hell?" And she stopped, and then the car zoomed right past in front of me,
Oh my
and
god.
Whoa, you're his hero.
and I turned around, and she like had this look of horror on her face, like she was like shaking, and I just started laughing.
Oh my.
And everyone in the bus is like staring like they saw a ghost, like holy crap, that kid
Oh.
almost died. And so I'm sitting there laughing, everyone's staring at me, she's like almost in tears. And I'm
became
just
a
looking like,
widow.
oh, there's a street right there.
We hadn't even been married for like 3 days, and I was already gonna become a widow.
Yeah,
Like,
Oh
so
my.
no.
that was
PJ,
the
so
closest
irresponsible.
legit near death
Irresponsible.
experience that I had, but like it was it was the best near death experience you could ever have because it was
Yeah,
so
no
funny the
dodge.
way it went down. And
What
if I
the-
had died, I wouldn't have known that I died. Like
Yep,
it just would have
alright, that's
happened.
Good way to go.
I
Oh, not for Sarah.
And
I
it
know
only
Sarah will be so traumatized, going to therapy like every week.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I just knew this guy
so
for
like
3
I
dates,
don't
and he died in
This was
front
over
of
3
me.
days. Wait, what? I
Oh,
don't think that's how
God.
that worked. Wait, was this arranged marriage that we didn't know? Wait, what?
no.
no.
So
No.
so
I
that
was
whole
there at the
experience is like
wedding.
I get to tell that I had a near death experience, but without any of the repercussions. Like I don't wake up in a cold sweat from it. I still sit there and laugh sometimes. Like, oh, I almost died. Ha, that was funny.
Tee.
So that
Death is hilarious.
that
Huh.
no, that made me. I don't know. That was one of those weird experiences where like it was the exact opposite of what anyone else has ever told me before.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
nice.
Anybody else?
I gotta keep thinking. I don't know.
I feel
I
like
know.
everyone's had at least one in their lives, like
I
Yeah,
don't get
but
out
almost
much.
drowning in a
Most of-
pool or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh, there's
but
gonna be a lot of those, but those aren't like
yeah,
they're not that interesting because there's so many times where I've almost drowned and yay,
Yeah.
it's gonna be the same story.
Or like a
Yeah, I
plane
coulda said
dropping
that too, yeah.
or something like
a
that.
plane dropping like out of the
dropping.
sky.
Yeah, like you're in a
What?
plane
That
and
doesn't
then
happen
it
very
loses.
often.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying.
I
Like,
mean,
it's-
I have that story, but I felt like I was totally in control. I mean, I
Oh,
guess
when
I
you're
could
actually
say it.
piloting.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, just tell it.
Well, so if you guys didn't know, I used to fly planes.
What?
And I learned how to fly
What?
planes before I learned how to drive.
What?
I know, what a discovery. So, while I was training with my flight instructor, we've trained out here in the small town, and I was going in for the final landing. So I was on final going into the runway, and when and there's this thing called wind shear. So wind shear is when the winds are
Wind
changing.
shears.
Like,
Oh.
yeah, wind literally shears. So moving on. Um, so we were on.
Thank you for that explanation.
So
Oh man.
yeah, so wind is basically going the opposite way, and it's like crust. Like, think of the Earth's crust shearing each other, and one has to go up, one has to go down opposite way. So what
Okay.
happens is with airflow is when you're flying towards it, you lose airflow because it just gets turbulent and disrupted.
So
So
it forces
we're
you
on
down or upward.
you just you lose airflow, so you're going down. So that's
Okay.
what happened exactly to me and my flight instructor. And I was in this tiny ass training plane, uh and so what you got to do is not pull up. The amateur thing to do is to pull up, and you're going to lose more airflow, and you're going to die quicker. So what you're going to do
Wait, what?
is, even though we're heading towards the ground already because we're landing, you have to punch the gas, and then you have to push forward on the yoke towards the ground to get airspeed. So it's counterintuitive, and that's how
Oh,
you
so
live.
it catches the wing. The wings catch
Yes,
air from
exactly.
acceleration downwards, so it flattens
Yeah,
you
you need
out.
to get that airflow
Okay, that
to
makes
go
sense.
go smooth over and
Who the fuck's
under
gonna sit there
the
and
thing.
think about that as a like person learning to fly to
Yeah,
do
why they
it
that?
takes
train
some
for it.
training.
Yeah.
It takes some training. It takes some training to teach you not to do what your instinct is telling you to do. Because if you just keep pulling up, you're just
Well,
gonna
yeah,
die.
because like
But
if you're falling, your brain's telling you like I got to go back
like,
up.
save me, come out of
Yeah.
air. But what the funny thing is, I was like, because I was at a point where I was chill with everything, and I already knew. But like, this really caught me for a loop because I've experienced airflow loss in like really high up in the air, but that never really happened at finals so low to the ground. And after that, I looked at my instructor. He wasn't even reacting or anything. Like, I literally did the proper procedures. He never touched the yoke, he never took over. So I felt proud of myself because he kept calm and he knew I did the right thing. So it felt really good.
Either that or
A-
he was
And I'm
like,
still
I'm done.
here.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah, he's I'll take the wheel.
Yeah, he was just like, well, if I live, I live. I'm going to McDonald's after this. If I don't, well, oh well.
Yeah.
I failed as instructor.
That'll always be my favorite experience because it's just like, I guess it was the trust from the instructor, but also the knowing how much I learned from all this training, and how training really proves to you that you can break those intuitive habits that could have gotten you killed. And
Do you ever
like
have like flashbacks though of that, like where it
like
freaks you out?
no. Oh wait, like if I were to go into a plane, like
Yeah, I
would I freak?
guess.
Not really. Like, I thought it was a thrill because I like, because if okay, so if I just like, if that was my first hour flying, I probably would have thought otherwise, but he would have taken over, so I felt like comfortable no matter what. Like,
Right.
the whole point is just to feel comfortable and kind of work past all these like technical issues and like scenarios that you would run into. And I I never had that issue. Like, I just thought, I felt like instead of getting PTSD, I thought of it as an achievement myself,
Hmm.
Right.
not dying. So,
Makes
and
sense.
it
That's a good
and
achievement.
it's
Yeah.
That's a
cool.
good achievement too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Agreed.
still here.
Um.
Yay.
Okay.
Yay!
See, so far that both positive near-death experiences.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's gonna
Wow.
ruin it?
Well, technically, if near death should be positive because you're still alive, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're
Yeah,
still
any
alive.
near death is pretty
No,
You're
but
here
positive.
I
to
like I
talk
said
about it.
before multiple times I've heard people talk about their near-death experiences. It's always like they have some sort of PTSD afterwards, or they have some sort of like
Ah,
they have
Uh-huh.
something that affects them negatively. It like haunts them.
gotcha.
Well, I have one. I feel like I've said it before though.
It's all right.
I don't know, maybe to you guys, but not on the
Oh
podcast.
yeah,
But
that's all that matters.
so, um, back in 2011,
Wow.
Um,
Sorry,
I
I'm trying
was
to
a
call.
wild child,
Oh, geez.
and I was going out to um this place called Gorman, which is where you can go off roading. Me and my friends, we had two vehicles. We had a Bronco and a Jeep, and so every weekend we'd go out to Gorman and just like go have fun and ride the trails. But we would, and this is very irresponsible, so don't do this at home,
So.
kids. But we would, we'd get there towards the evening, we'd set up our camping spot and we'd start like drinking beers and we'd go out on the trails. But my friend decided um there was this big sand hill and he was
Ooh.
determined. He was like, we are gonna, he had a Bronco, a very nice Bronco. He was like, we are gonna go up this hill. I don't care how. We're gonna get up there. Sarah, you're gonna be in the passenger seat. And I was like, bet, let's go. So, um, so we were in it, like we were going up the hill, but then the Bronco started like going to the side, and so we were about to roll basically, but thankfully my friend kind of knew what he was doing.
Nice.
And he fixed it, but he was t- uh, warning me when we were like halfway up. He's like, "You might have to like roll out. You might have to roll out of the Bronco right now." But we made it to the top. It was very scary. And my two other friends were at the bottom of the hill, like screaming, like, "Oh my god, you guys almost died," because the Bronco legit was gonna roll, and we wouldn't have made it. Um, but there's several experiences like that in Gorman where I almost died in
Nice.
multiple vehicles just because we would just we were just trying to get
Trying
the
to.
trucks trying to get the trucks in places where they shouldn't have been. But
Oh wow.
yeah,
Sounds like a user
luckily
problem.
well, it's called being drunk and stupid.
Oh
But
my god.
yeah. But
Don't do
luckily the
drugs, kids.
people drunk, not drugs.
Or
There's
well,
a
I
Oh
mean,
my.
difference.
same difference.
Alcohol's a
Um
drug. It's just
uh,
legal.
Mm-hmm.
okay,
That's
okay, okay.
true.
Anyways,
Anyway.
um
Ah.
yeah, luckily my friends semi knew what they were doing, so I'm still here. Yay!
Luckily,
Yay.
they were
Wow,
semi not
congrats.
inebriated enough to not mess things up.
Yeah. That's funny. That reminds me of my trips to like off road for my work, and
Mhm.
I put myself in
Were your
positions
coworkers inebriated?
that and compromising positions to get a good.
Oh my.
Were they taking
Yeah.
pictures of this,
Oh, shots.
ladies?
Uh, yeah, ladies.
Ladies.
Uh, to get good angles of off-road vehicles going past them. Like I put like there, one time we lined them up across the beach, and I put myself in between all of them driving all by me like a stampede of bulls going past me, and it got pretty iffy. So
You cray
Yeah, I
cray.
mean,
Wow.
hey, film lasts forever, so
it's worth
You're
it. You gotta, you
finite.
get the
gotta do
Film
shot.
what you
isn't.
gotta
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
Yeah.
Get the shot. No, don't do that.
Who we got? We got John and Joey left.
I'm still thinking. I don't
Joey's
know.
quiet.
I don't really have any good ones
I won't.
Yeah, that's the
because
thing.
I'm
Tell me.
Like,
generally
most of it-
like super cautious
Oh,
and
okay.
like I don't put myself in positions where
Joey, you
I
think me
might
walking in
die.
front of a bus was me like not like that was just uh, dumb
That
luck
was
You
Yeah,
not
PJ
that
being
happened
stupid.
because you didn't think to look around the side of the bus.
Well, no,
Yeah.
because I looked on the side of the bus when we were sitting up top, and I'm like, oh, that's not a street, that's a sidewalk. But I didn't realize that the bus was high enough to cover the street. That's how small the
Ah.
street was.
PJ, of all things that our parents could have taught us to look both
Look
ways
both
before
ways.
crossing
I
the
couldn't
street,
look
you
both ways. The
forgot.
bus covered the street.
Oh
That's what
my
I'm trying to
God,
tell
I
you.
don't care.
The
You're
street
peeking
on,
around the
let's-
corner.
The street
Let's go,
was
Joey.
so narrow that you couldn't tell there was a street there.
It's okay. I saved you.
You did.
Just kidding.
So I'm good.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Sarah knew it was a street.
Yeah, evidently she was
Yes.
paying better attention than me. I was in Hawaii, man. I was having a moment. I was enjoying everything. That's nothing could get me down. Not even almost getting hit by a meep meep car.
That's
So
the spirit.
I actually, to be honest, I don't think I would have died from the car. I think I would have just dented it very badly.
No, you probably would have been
That's
really hurt or dead.
Probably
I don't
really
think you
hurt.
you
It was a very
underestimate how
small car.
fast a car needs to go to, or how slow a car can go
Even
to
small
injure
cars
someone.
have a lot
Yeah.
of mass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have flown into like the next
There-
window.
I definitely
over.
would have damaged the car.
Well,
though.
no, really, what's like the risky part, right, is that especially if it's a low car, it's gonna hit you at the knees, and then your head's gonna go into the windshield.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yep.
fun.
Smacky.
So you
That'll
get a
kill you.
concussion.
That's what
That'll-
kills you.
You
Yeah,
get a
that'll kill you.
contusion.
Yeah.
Okay, this is starting to not be a fun story anymore.
Oh,
Who,
you know what?
who
It's,
has a
what's
near
it-
death
Because it shouldn't be a fun story.
I
Well,
liked
you know
it,
what?
okay?
Yeah,
my-
PJ,
my-
take this seriously, dude. You
No.
almost died.
I'm okay.
Wait, so next time, PJ, if you ever run into that situation and Sarah's not there, take
Roll.
it from the stunt people and lift your closest knee, lift your leg that's closest to the hood, so you can get over the hood, and at least that'll stop you from getting run over. At least, but flipping into the windshield
You'll
is
body
the
slam
next
into
problem.
the windshield.
That'll be your next problem that you'll worry in the next
Yeah.
40
Uh,
seconds.
You'll worry about it
Like
later. so
shatter every
yeah.
bone in my body, but I'll at least still be alive.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
goal,
Your legs,
PJ,
yeah.
your goal is to roll over the whole car, and that's your.
What
best
if I
case
had
scenario.
done that and like backflipped over the car and landed on my feet somehow?
Well, that would have been hilarious.
Yeah. Then
I-
you would have. It
I would have been crying.
You
What?
would have went viral.
I wish, I know. That would have been really cool. I think it would have hurt still though.
I would have been crying.
I bet there was like one person in your bus was just watching you the whole time with the camera out. He's like, "Come on, come on,
Yeah.
come on."
That
That's
guy.
probably
That
what
guy.
it
Viral.
That guy looks like he's gonna do
I
something.
mean, we've had
stupid. You
friends that
watch.
do something like that. Friends that will not be named. Anywho,
What?
don't worry about it. They know who they are.
I don't
Anyway,
remember. We'll talk about this later. Go ahead,
go,
Joey.
Don't do stupid things in cars.
Yeah, PJ.
Like
Yeah,
the only
no.
times that I've ever been like afraid for my life has been in like the back seat or the passenger seat of a car of somebody who's just doing something incredibly
Really
stupid
Mhm.
or who's
Yeah.
just like bad and like reckless at driving, right? There was a girl in high school that I knew that would just like blow stop signs, like
Why?
whatever. Because
Oh,
who
yeah.
cares, man? Like nobody's around. There's no cops around.
Oh, jeez.
Stop.
No cop,
It's a
no
waste of
stop.
time to stop. Just blow it. Who cares?
Oh my
What?
god, that's the worst.
It sounds like
Mhm.
someone ready
And-
to get T-boned.
And then obviously
I-
like people like driving way faster than they should. Like
Mhm.
you're just like doing dangerous shit
It's dangerous.
for I suppose for the thrill, particularly when you're like driving fast, like on the freeway and stuff like that. Because I have a lot of friends who have like really nice cars, that can go pretty fast,
They think they're in a
and
Two-Faced
they
Fast
like
and
to
Furious
go
movie.
fast.
Mhm. Gotta go
But it's-
fast.
But you know, it's scary because you know that like you're going that fast at any like mistake, everybody in the
Yeah.
car's dead,
Yep.
Right.
and
Or
it's
someone
like
else on the
Not only
street.
that, but you're putting
yeah,
other
and like
people
other
in
people,
too.
yeah.
That's interesting that you put that into that
Yeah.
category though. Like I had a friend in college that drove reckless like that. So there's a back road that turned really like fast and steep alongside of a mountain, and he had like a convertible car, so he drove it very fast. And so the back end of the back entrance to the school next to that mountainside was a long straight road and then into the turn. So he'd run into the turn at 100 miles per hour, and he's just like, "You want to know the secret? You accelerate," and then he would turn into it faster. And so like we'd basically skid on the edge of the like turn towards the mountain and then go around. That was like fucking
Oh,
scary.
Oh,
But at
you're
the
talking
same time,
about drifting. That's a thing.
it was
That's
yeah, it
normal.
was drifting essentially. But
That's
If
just
they
weird.
know what they're doing, PJ, that's
yeah, well
fine.
that was
but-
the thing. Like he did it multiple times prior, so like it scared me shitless. But at the same time, I was just like, okay, I trust him enough to like whatever the situation. But it's funny that like your experiences with it are so traumatic, or it sounds like you had traumatic experiences with it. Whereas,
Well, I
like,
mean, they're not traumatic. They're just like, because I don't want you to turn this into like a PTSD that I feel like you're kind of digging for, because it's not like
No.
the case here. It's
I don't
just
think
like
anyone had.
it's stupid to drive really fast
It's
and
reckless.
don't drive really fast.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
like going fast, if
Go
you're like
fast.
a good driver, like you shouldn't do it because it's dangerous and you don't know the situations on the road.
Right.
Right. But it's not as dangerous as like homegirl who would just blow stop signs.
No, that's
Right.
just
Yeah.
stupid.
That's stupid. And
That's
like-
definitely
that's really what I'm talking about with where I'm like actually scared for my life, because I'm like at any moment homegirl can just blow a stop sign and not see the dude coming from the right hand side and I'm dead.
right.
Yeah.
We get T-boned and I'm dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people don't realize the stop signs are there because, like, obviously the city planners realize this is an intersection that might have an issue because of this other point where you have a blind spot or whatever, and it's like people are like, oh, it doesn't matter, there's no one around. It's like, well, there's a blind spot, you didn't know that there's no one around. I don't know. I agree with you. She needs to stop this girl from running the stop signs.
Well, I mean
Let's do a
this was like
petition.
10 years ago. So
I don't care. She's still
who
doing it. I
knows?
guarantee she's still doing it. People don't change, Joey.
You don't know that.
Mhm.
No one changed.
Anyways.
Go ahead, John.
Oh God.
John, the last one. Oh yeah, John is the last one.
I don't know. There's so many like. It's like same with Joey. It's like
Just
I mean,
pick
not
your
exactly.
like your situation where
Uh,
you like wake up sometimes and either laugh about it or you're like, wow, I can't believe that's happened. I still can't believe it's not butter.
nah, I don't think about that stuff. I just forget.
You
I
don't
know
think
you
about
do.
butter?
I don't. No, not really. Not often. I mean, I guess. One time went snorkeling. You know how you can
Oh,
like
no.
snorkel. You can like kind of hold your breath and kind of dive, and then when you come up, you like shoot the water out like a whale, like out the blowhole.
Oh, wow.
With the snorkel.
You like
Mhm.
choking.
You know.
on it.
You know. So this was in like, yeah, Thailand. Was snorkeling with some fishies, and it was like this very deep spot. And I saw some fish over there. I was like, I'm gonna check out those fish. So I started
Oh, wow.
diving. I was hanging out, and I was like, I can probably go a little further. Kind of. 'Cause I'm
Mhm.
daring. I do that a lot because I just want to, just push it to the limit. And I
Mhm.
realized that this is a point where I should probably go up because it's like you want to it's like you want to conserve half of your oxygen going down, half of your oxygen going up, right? I didn't do that. It's a little too long. I started realizing, oh, I need to breathe now, but I still have to go all the way back up. And started seeing, the corners of my vision get kind of dark. And I was like, oh,
Oh, awkward.
this is it, guys. And I kind of just like, I didn't really like kick hard. I just kind of just did my normal routine because it's like I didn't want to,
Yeah.
overexert
Panic.
myself, and just kept calm. I think that's the closest I ever had to drowning. It was kind
Wow.
of peaceful. I was like, if this is it,
Oh.
this is it. And then I just
Is
reached
that-
the surface like, and
Is
it's like,
it
oh,
one-
okay, cool, almost died.
Is it-
Is
And
that
I
the
went
way
back
you
to-
would want to go?
After that
Drowning.
experience, I feel like yeah, if
Oh,
I
wow.
had to, I wouldn't mind.
So when
drowning.
John's 90 years old,
Yeah.
just dunk him into his own tub.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Got it.
That sounds good.
yeah.
But
It's like, but yeah, after that, I was like, okay, and I dove back down. And I just kind of, readjusted my timing.
having that
next time around.
experience, do you think a lot of video games like portray the feeling and like everything of drowning well? Like that feeling of air coming into your lungs is like, holy
Oh, like
crap.
gasping for air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's you probably do it in your bathtub, just like hold
Yeah.
your breath and
Yeah, every
It-
game developer before making their game shoves their head in the bathtub and waits till
Yeah.
they almost drown.
I feel like everyone has that kind of moment of I
Well,
need oxygen.
Yeah, but usually it's like
So-
in a shallow end of a pool or something, not where
So
you're
one
like
thing
in water
I-
completely.
I know from experience because I swam before.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's like any experience. If you've swam before, you probably had the same experience.
Yeah, like the panic is what makes it worse. You can actually hold your breath for a little longer than your
Yeah.
brain actually thinks.
Yeah,
Like, because
and that's why I
I
think-
remember. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, that's why I think because I did the right move, just not panic and just kind of continue going up instead of like and just like, waste the rest of
Relax.
my I just
Or like
relax and just kinda-
inhale the water.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I
the water.
I've experienced that thought of drowning, even though I was in no way, shape, or form gonna drown when I was jumping off a high dive board in a pool.
Yeah.
And like there's like it's not even that far enough for me to die because I've taken a big enough breath, but for some reason when I was young I was just
You just panic.
panicking,
Yeah.
and I was like and I look up to the top of like the surface of the water. It's like, oh god, that looks so far, I'm gonna die, and I just like flutter and stuff, and like, but
Yeah.
oh, that wasn't that bad.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why magicians, like, I don't know what one I watched when I was younger, like a special specifically, where the
Oh, David
magician
Blaine.
was talking about, like,
Blaine.
probably, he's like, the ability to hold your breath underwater to get out of the locks has less
David
to
Blaine.
do with training your lungs. It has more to do with training your mentality.
David Blaine.
Yeah. It's both. Like they still do like
Well,
especially
of
David
course
Blaine.
they have
David
to,
Blaine.
but it's
He trained like with like kind of deep sea divers or not deep sea, but the equipmentless divers, you know, the one
Right.
breath divers.
David Blaine.
Yeah, David Blaine. He did that. He did a
Moist.
special called Believe. Wait, no, what is it called? I forgot. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
But see, that's the thing about those magicians. Like, is he really a
God.
magician if he does it for real and more of a
Well, I think the illusion part of it is getting on the locks while
Yeah,
holding
that has
your
nothing
breath
to
for that
do with the
long.
actual holding your breath.
a lot
portion.
of like David Blaine does
David
is,
Blaine.
is not magic. I mean, his stunts at least they're just pretty much stunts.
Right.
You know, it's like
yeah.
he like
He's like
hung
a-
above a glass box or something, or
He's like
stuff like
our
that.
times Houdini, essentially.
Yeah.
I know we're off topic, but
Yeah.
we gotta appreciate.
David
Yeah.
Blaine.
I mean, that's like pretty close to like almost death experiences.
It's the
pushing
the
the
illusion that
limits.
magic is real. So like things that are unworldly that people can do.
I mean, he's so chill. I would love to ask him, like, his thoughts on fear. Like, has he? He
Oh.
doesn't like. It doesn't look like anything phases him.
He'll probably give you one
That
of
would
those
be a good
answers
question.
like losing love or something super deep.
I fear that no one will watch my magic special.
Wait, was that?
David Blaine.
David
Yes,
Blaine.
it is I. Watch. This is the Ace of Spades. Watch.
I think we found the title for this
That's it.
podcast.
Wait, what?
David Blaine.
David Blaine.
Are you guys ready to move on?
Moist.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Stay safe, people. Don't do stupid things.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah.
Let
David Blaine, do it.
Don't run red stop signs. You can run the yellow ones, not the red ones. No,
No,
do that
don't run
either.
the yellow ones.
No, not the yellow one, that's
Look,
yield.
look
That's
and
even
yield if
worse.
you have to.
DJ
Or
yield
prepare to
means
stop.
they can keep going if they don't see any other cars. That's
Fine.
dangerous. Oh my! Don't if you're
Uh,
listening, don't do whatever PJ's telling you to
Say
do.
the opposite.
Please.
I'm teaching
For
people
the
what
love
not
of
to
God.
do. Don't worry.
Do as I
Please
do.
read
No,
the
wait, no, do-
instruction manual.
Two.
Wait, yeah, do as
This
he
is not
does,
life
as he
advice.
says.
Don't do it.
Okay, let's move on, shall we?
Okay, our final question today was thrown up there by Garrick. It's a pretty
wow.
open-ended one.
Huh.
What would be the most surprising scientific discovery imaginable?
Gas
Wow,
fueled
that's
vehicles.
a great question. Wait, what?
Gas fueled vehicles.
Gas-filled vehicles?
Fueled.
Gas-fueled
mean
vehicles? You mean
in-
gas
I-
vehicles? We
Internal
have those.
combustion
Internal
engines?
combustion engines?
No.
Gas-fueled.
Like farts?
Like
Yes.
methane
Oh,
fueled
like
combustion?
gas. Okay.
Oh.
Is that wouldn't that be methane? What's mostly comprised in farts?
Methane.
Methane.
Oh, you're talking about like hydrogen too, cars too, right?
I don't
No,
know.
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about you sit on your seat and there's a tube that feeds to the fuel tank and you just fart in there and it fuels your
I
tank.
mean, you're gonna have to be farting a lot.
Yeah. I don't think you're going
You
to be
would
able to
probably
produce
move
enough.
like an inch.
I could just picture someone being like, "Sorry, I can't go out. I don't have enough gas."
Yeah, I'm eating these
I
like
mean,
buckets of beans and it's just not working.
Yeah.
It's just not
I
working.
haven't
You have
eaten
your-
my quota.
You
I
have
haven't eaten my
your
quota of Chipotle yet.
you have your emergency bean burrito under the dash.
Yeah.
I mean,
But what
maybe
if it
every
doesn't
house, every car has their own cow and just sticks up right up their
I
anus.
feel
and
like that would be a waste
Oh,
of
that's the
energy. though.
charging.
Because most of that wasted energy is just going into your body, just getting stored there as fat.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, the fatter
And-
you are, hopefully, the more like flatulence you can get. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyways.
I'm kind of into what John proposed there.
Yeah.
Everybody's just got their own like in-house
Cow.
cow.
I mean, Sarah
Yeah,
would
you
love
get
that.
milk
got
and
fresh
gas for your
milk.
car
Yeah.
Gas for the car,
and cheese.
right? When it gets too old, you kill it and you eat it,
Eat it.
and you
Right.
get a new one.
Right. And then if
Right.
you're
Multi-purpose.
lactose intolerant,
Exactly.
you get double whammy because you get the cow milk and cheese, and then you get the gas from your butt
Yeah.
too.
See,
So true.
this is how we take down Big Ag.
Exactly. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Is
sorry,
that
that was
how-
the like
Oh,
most outlandish idea ever. It was just something stupid I wanted to say, but I'm glad we solved it.
Excellent.
We solved the gas crisis.
I'll give you a real
Or-
answer later. Go ahead.
That was your answer.
That
No.
was that definitely was your answer.
Too late
This
now.
is a very open. This is a very hard open-ended
Yeah,
question.
because
I
the
know,
way
like-
I interpreted it like it could go like a discovery that hasn't been like discovered yet, or like that you could through your imagination, like
Something
PJ's,
that's already happened. You mean
or
Yeah.
something
The
that's
thing is
already
that
happened.
it's something that surprised me. It's something I wouldn't have thought. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
the things I think that would be discovered.
you thought about a
isn't surprising.
gas powered car?
I feel
No.
like it'd be something that like questions
Yeah, it
the
has to be.
fundamental way that we perceived some physical like reality of the world,
Yeah.
right? Like if
Yeah.
all of a sudden we had a new theory for gravity, that would be surprising, right?
Yeah.
Because like gravity is something that is so like foundational in our concept of reality that if all of a sudden the like majority of the scientific world was like, oh wait, no, we were totally wrong for like 1,000 years or whatever, and gravity actually works like this,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
That's
that would be
true.
crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, my first thought is like us, like as humans, being able to like go underwater with no help, like no snorkels or anything like that.
Of
Like
course you'd
just
go
our
there.
bodies. Well, yeah, like
So you
I
want
think
us to
You wanna be a
genetically
mermaid.
engineer mermaids?
Are you talking
Yeah,
about just
well,
free
no.
diving?
No, okay, like
You don't
somehow
need
our
air
bodies change. Yeah, like somehow our bodies
or
change and
limited
adapt to
air.
where we could literally live underwater with no help at all.
Oh
With
wow,
the help of gills,
like
Yeah.
the Aquaman.
fish people.
Yeah,
Well,
Aquamans.
I think it would be
Oh,
like
Atlanteans. That's the one.
well, it could be a mixture. It could be either like gills or it could be like your lungs have the ability to filter air through water.
Or cyber enhancements, like Cyberpunk. You can get like
Wow.
these mechanical lungs that can
Aqua
filter
lungs.
water.
Like a
Aqualungs.
Yeah.
rebreather.
just
Um,
something
Oh,
cool like
yeah,
that
it's
where,
pretty much a refreeze.
like where we literally just don't need any help and we can live underwater.
it's just a biological thing more so than
Yeah.
I
So
see.
you'll have your fetus and you take it out and you like splice some like
That
fish genes
definitely
in it.
would solve
bada boom.
that would solve the real estate issue if you could.
Oh, yeah,
live
for
underwater.
sure.
I would move under the sea. Under the
Yeah.
sea.
Under the sea.
Got a
The
nice
only downside
condo
The only downside is the shriveled up fingers.
with a three
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll deal with
under
that.
the sea.
Yeah, we'll evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't get wrinklies
That's
anymore.
my answer.
We'd always be moist.
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 John, Joey, Garrick.
Oh, Joey's is a good
I
answer.
already answered. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Oh wait, you answered? What?
Yeah, I brought up the whole thing about gravity and shit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like having time lapses in my brain.
But
So it's just
I mean,
John and Garrick.
I guess if it's not really like I wouldn't be. I mean, I guess I'd be surprised if they discovered like intelligent life outside of
wow.
Earth. I think that'd be a big surprise. But at the same time, wouldn't it be? I'm like, okay, when they gonna visit? You know?
Yeah. Well, I do have a question. Do you guys think it's scarier being with the thought being alone in the universe, or the thought of actually aliens being out there other than us? Like, is that
I think
Does
it's
that cross your mind?
the like fear of knowing there's something else out there is worse, because then you don't know if like they're hostile or something like that. Whereas if the knowledge of being alone, at least you know like this is it. I am it.
Yeah, but when the Earth dies, like that's
This is it.
That is it.
This
Yeah.
is it.
Yeah. I mean, that's how is that
Mom,
scary? It has
take the
nothing to
wheel.
do. Has nothing to do with anybody. Like at that
I mean,
point,
what
it's
that
just like
well, can you
existence
just
is over.
I mean, can you just apply that to like humanity in general? It's like if you're living, then it's like we're not just it. You know, it's like there's other humans out there. We don't know if they're hostile. We don't know if they're friendly.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. I mean,
That's kind of
yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. So, like, if you knew that you were the only one, other one on Earth, like, how would that bother you? I feel like it depends on the
that
scale.
sounds
Like,
terrifying.
that is no, that's terrifying. But the reason why that's terrifying is because, like, we understand other humans because they are basically what we are. Some people are different in major ways, but like knowing that there's something else out there that we aren't aware of that like isn't like us, that's terrifying. So I think it's a twofold question.
Well, I don't know. The way I think about that is there's people on the other side of the world that I don't know. So,
Well, that's what they were just
and I
saying.
don't know.
Like there's
Yeah.
you don't know what
Yeah.
other people outside of your realm are capable of, but that's what I'm saying the opposite of. People are one thing. So it's like people are capable of anything from X or A to Z. Uh, Whereas if you have something that's not human or outside of our world, that's a whole different realm of like understanding of what could happen. You don't have the alphabet for them.
Like they might operate on a different metaphysical level than we
Right.
are, that we can't even comprehend.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
Interstellar.
So
Hmm.
that's
I mean,
what
that
makes
would
that
be
scary.
fascinating.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like, I feel like
Fascinating
I
that's
to
mean,
what point though?
it wouldn't be fascinating if they came down and then enslaved the entire peoples of Earth and subjugated us. Like,
Yeah.
As long as
I
they're
mean-
as long as they're a peaceful
Yeah, I
peaceful
feel like
civilization.
I feel like the odds of that is like very low. It's like why would you travel that far to like a planet that also has life to enslave him or just destroy the planet? You know?
Well, because we're stupid and we would shoot a gun at them.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
true.
There you go,
As
John. That's the
history
reason
has
why.
and
proven.
like John,
That's just
why
movie
would
stuff. That's just Hollywood
Europeans
movie.
why would Europeans take boats to Africa to put a bunch of black people on them and drag them
mean,
to the Americas?
Yeah,
Technically,
we might enslave the first visitors.
I mean, well, we
Like,
would
I
have
know
to be
that
afraid. We would have to be
we're-
afraid of ourselves for like capturing our own people and sending it over. Allowing those aliens to use us.
I
as,
think what they portray in the
as-
movies will be the same exact experiences we would have to like
Have you seen
triumph
Arrival?
over. No, I
Watch,
actually have. It's
watch
been on my
Arrival because
watch
I feel
list.
like that is the most accurate depiction of how
Okay,
first contact would be like. It's
let's
just-
make that our next movie night.
Yeah,
we have a long list now.
I won't
but-
spoil it.
I know.
But
Everybody
that's-
dies.
I
Anyways,
don't know. I love my action alien invasion movies once in a while, but it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's just kind of just like Hollywood slog.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Okay.
yeah.
I'm kind of like afraid of like Annihilation style, though. If anyone's
Yeah.
watched that.
Oh, Annihilation is great, fantastic.
Annihilation
that
is
one.
more of a like eldritch horror
Yeah,
type of jam, though.
That's true.
Whereas like Arrival is like good old fashioned science fiction
yeah.
Oh, I love science fiction.
of like we got
Like,
these
how do we
benevolent
communicate?
aliens. What's going
Yeah.
on here? Yeah.
Okay. I'm down to watch it. Okay. Anyways, my thing, I was gonna say like, so something that hasn't been discovered yet. But I have another answer. Is gonna be I guess flying cars. I want it to be more convenient to get around.
I don't know,
So,
man. I mean,
I don't know.
air
I
traffic
mean-
control is already like a pain. I mean,
It is a
drones,
mess.
like flying drones is already a mess. Like,
Yeah,
adding
especially
cars
with
to that,
you know
like
what? Yeah, now that you say
personal
that, because
transport?
yeah, the way people drive, they're like freaking
Yeah.
crazy. Like there'll be crashes, accidents on the ground,
Yeah, it's like-
accidents in the
yeah,
air. It's like
whatever
cars
people say,
falling
flying
on our
cars, I'm like,
houses.
that's
Never
what I
mind.
think of. That's what I think of.
Well, I don't
I
know.
mean,
well,
as long as they're more strict about it.
Maybe it's
though.
automated. It's all automated.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Like
that's the thing.
Tesla flying cars.
Cars
get
falling
on
on
it,
houses.
Elon.
That's definitely a thing, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm also like,
That's
you have
already a
so
thing.
much more room in the sky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I feel like the reason that accidents and cars happen is because everybody's stuck on this grid called roads,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
where they're
at the same
forced to
time,
run into each other.
with my knowledge of flying and air traffic control, there would be a ton of accidents in the air with all like there's actually
Yeah.
many more planes in the air than you would think that would be safe for people to be flying. So without air traffic control and the stress that they go through to actually keep things organized and that technology that they have now, things would be really hectic right now. So we're
Yeah.
not too far off to getting really crowded skies to like
But
overcapacity already.
and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know anything about like airplanes really, but like, isn't it kind of the same deal with airplanes where they're all kind of in the same altitude?
Yeah.
So they're kind of on like
Yeah.
a road in the sky.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
different altitudes, like even I forgot which one it is, but even you go one direction, like east west, and then odds you go north and south, and that helps just to separate it. So every other you're going the same way as somebody that's going with you, and
Yeah.
sometimes you
We're gonna
just
have
have
a
to thread
lot
the
of
needle.
yeah. You have a lot of air traffic too. It's like you got like planes, you got helicopters. Like helicopters follow like freeways, right? That's what they use to kind of navigate,
Yeah,
from what
yeah,
I've
That's true.
heard.
yeah.
So it's
And
like
oh,
what do flying cars use?
let me posit this. What do you guys think is the 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 flying object that has the most right of way?
A
So
blimp.
with our flying mechanisms today, what has the most right of way?
Probably an
Blimp.
airplane because it has the least ability to like
No,
adjust.
hot air balloon. Yeah, blimp. Hot air
Oh,
balloon.
well done.
Oh,
Yeah, because it's less maneuverable. It's like the same
Yeah,
thing with boats. The
yeah.
so
bigger
then
ships have
with that
right because
logic, an
they're less
airplane would
maneuverable.
be number 2, right?
No, helicopters.
Helicopter.
Helicopters has
Wait, no.
Because
less maneuverability than an airplane.
they're slower.
Oh yeah, slow.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's basically like a predatory level. So the thing that's
Yeah.
like the most
But
dangerous is the lower tier priority.
well, so I think if I remember how it would go, would be like hot air balloons, then blimps, then I think helicopters, or yeah, it might be helicopters, and then large planes, and then small planes because they're most maneuverable.
And
So
then drones.
yes,
The very bottom of it.
get
or
them
top,
out of
bottom.
there. But my real
Whatever.
answer, oh well, one quick answer would be something that we already know, but I always wonder sometimes. Always wonder sometimes, but about like the transition from chemistry to biology when chemicals turn into cells like that, like when we become life back in the day. Like how did that
Oh.
like that? It's just crazy how that
Ooh.
luckily happens.
Yeah.
Like because it never really is talked about. It's just either you're 100% in chemistry or you're
Well,
100%
that's why
in biology.
you gotta take
But you
biochem.
yeah, biochem is where it's at. That would have been interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's
Good
what I always
stuff.
wonder.
Okay, is that gonna do it for us here?
Oh,
Yeah, I think so.
Seems like
did we
it.
get all the chill out of us?
I think
So
so.
chill, bro.
That was a lot.
So
Chill.
chill.
Chill, bruh.
Okay,
Much
before we
chill.
leave, what's going on over on the Twitch, John?
Twitch, we got Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. We're streaming on the Cameraman John channel on Twitch.
Podcast.
Definitely check out Wednesday, the 23rd of December. We're doing our Halloween, holiday Christmas special. It's gonna be fun games, fun stuff. Check it out. Check it out.
And we will be announcing the winner for the
Oh.
contest for this month.
Yeah.
Yay!
the art
3
contest.
winners.
3 winners.
Check out our Discord.
Super excited for that.
What's going on over on the YouTube?
Slower this month for YouTube, but we are posting still 3 times a week. One video is variable through the week, so just keep an eye out on it. We just posted one on yesterday, Tuesday. It was actually made a playlist for my voiceover stuff, so it's voiceover what ifs. This one is a Arnold Schwarzenegger spinoff with his cousin Bogey. So if you are into that, go give it a check out. We have our podcast, of course, which you are listening to right now, also available on all major podcasting directories in case you can't get on YouTube at the moment. And then also Garrick's Dubs on Sunday, which hopefully we
Yay.
will have some new content because today is the big update for season 1 of Black Ops and the new integration of Warzone. So hopefully we'll get a dub. Huh?
Past dubs. We gotta
Yeah.
get rid of all past dubs.
Oh no, those will still be relevant. It's all right. But yeah, and then we'll have Rebirth Isle possibly. Hopefully it went on there, aka Alcatraz. So pretty stoked for all that.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, and
What's
hopefully,
going on with you, Sarah?
hopefully we'll
Oh,
have
you know,
a Christmas
hanging
thing next
out.
week.
Hopefully I'll get back to streaming on YouTube with my Animal Crossing. Hopefully
Yay.
soon. I
Make
know I
sure you
keep
put in the
telling
comments how much you want her to do it because she just keeps saying hopefully and hopefully gets nowhere. So
Also, she's promised a solo Phasmophobia.
oh yeah, it
I
better
already
be in
did
the
that.
comments. If
Yes.
it's
I
on
already
the
did that
comments,
Solo
she's not gonna do
run.
it.
I already did that with you and Garrick off stream.
Oh, yeah, there's a
She
spring
did
game.
very well. She didn't die, so
Yeah,
I
so
approve
you got it.
of
You got
this.
it.
But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully soon.
Alrighty. I think that's
Yay.
going to do it for us here. Stay tuned for that content in the future and check back next week because we're going to have another podcast for you like we do every
Lots
week.
of stuff.
I want to thank everybody for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Yay.
Bye.
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 Have a good
Merry,
time.
Merry Christmas. It's Timmy's time.
Already. Tim?
Tim.
Tim?